In lesson 15, we're going to get some more practice with box plots. So the first example has to do with Tootsie Pops. It says, as you learned earlier, the 5 numbers that you need to make a box plot are the minimum, the lower quartile, or Q1, the median, the upper quartile, or Q3, and the maximum. These numbers are called the 5-number summary of the data. 94 people were asked to grab as many Tootsie Pops as they could hold. Here's a box plot for these data. Estimate the values in the 5-number summary from the box plot. So now what we're doing is we're given a box plot and we have to find the 5-number summary from that. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put my dots in for where my points are. So remember, your minimum is at the very beginning. Q1 is where this line meets the box. The median is that line in the center of the box. Q3, or the upper quartile, is where the box and the line meet. And then your maximum is at the end of the line. So from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate in between the numbers where I need to. So in between 5 and 10, I've got 6, 7, 8, 9. I kind of didn't spread that out very nicely. Between 15 and 20, because that will be where my next dot is going to fall. I've got 16, 17, 18, 19. Here will be, this one is going to fall pretty much right there. So I'm going to split between here, 21, 22, 23, 24. And then I'll split also between here because that's where it's going to fall. So 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. So now when I'm going to find what these are close to, I'm just going to draw, and I usually do like a dotted line down here. This one's kind of, I didn't really spread it out very well. It probably would be a little closer to 7 if you had put 8. That's okay. Typically it's okay as long as it's within like 1 or so of the numbers, especially depending on how you break it down and divide it up. Obviously I didn't do the best job there. So I'll do it again over here. Again, these are just estimates. They're not exact. So the next one that I get is 18 for Q1. Our median, if I were to draw straight down, it should get me right at that 20 mark. Q3, when I draw that down, I get at about 22. And then for my maximum, I get about 42. So again, it's okay if yours is a little off. If you're like way off, if you say that your maximum is 45, it's obviously not hitting right at the end there. So you just have to be careful with that. So that's how you can estimate your 5-number summary from a box plot. And here's a different plot of the same data on the number of Tootsie Pops 94 people could hold. So you'll notice it looks a little bit differently this time. In this one, we have 5 values that are separate points and labeled. So it's asking us, why do you think that you have these points that are out there? The reason for this is that these 5 numbers, the 7, the 9, the 10, the 34, and the 42, are called outliers. And outliers, as we've mentioned, are those numbers that really stand out from a set. They're a lot higher or a lot lower than the rest of the numbers in the set. So if you look at the 5-number summary now, I put a dot here, 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 and here. When I bring this down, that's going to put my minimum in between 10 and 15 now, instead of at 7 where I had it before, way over here. The middle section here doesn't really change because it's not changing anything within the middle of it. However, if you look here at our maximum, it's now changing it from somewhere between 25 and 30 from the 42 we had previously. So now, if you'll notice, the section sizes, especially in this section and this section, are much shorter. What this means is these outliers are making it look like there could be a lot of people that could hold a very small number of Tootsie Pops, or there's a lot of people that could hold a big number of Tootsie Pops, when in reality, there's only a few that can hold 7 to 10, and the rest are holding somewhere between, 13 and the 18 that we had before. So many are between 13 and 18. And then on the other side of it all, we only had 2 over here, 1 way high up. So the line being that long made it seem like there were a lot more spread out, or a lot more people holding a variety of numbers of Tootsie Pops, when in reality it's really more between like 22 and like 27. So it's still pretty tight in here. So if you have these outliers, it's helpful to draw them as separate numbers like this, so it doesn't skew the data and make you think that there's really a lot more or a lot less variety than or variability than there is.